All businesses start the same way. And while some entrepreneurs strive to build lumbering global enterprises, we are different. We stay small and agile. We learn from experts, outsource intelligently, selectively, and focus our time where it's most impactful. Scale our offers to help more people. Grow our income. Our small steps lead to big gains. And when we hit unexpected challenges, we have the support of an entire community of business builders to share our adventure and celebrate wins. We are small and mighty. We are atomic.
Maybe I shouldn't have done it. I mean, they warned me. It was all right there, laid out so simply and plain. No wonder they called me insane. I mean, it was all right. I could have maintained the same lane, knowing what every day would contain, continuing to complain in vain, just like them. I was so excited in the beginning. When I made the decision to follow my heart, click restart, step off the treadmill and forge a new path, and it all started with a single spark. The idea that maybe, just maybe, the world had more in store for me. That I could become the architect of my own reality. I bought 17 notebooks, 30 coloured pens, and mapped out my entire journey from beginning to end. And it was going to be so smooth. I'd shift into first gear, create the idea, post it up on social medias, and customers would appear, eager, no, happy, no, excited to hear from me. Unfortunately, that's not what the journey entailed. It's like the picture I'd imagined, but the filter had failed. The vision got blurry, I'd zoomed out from my plan, lost niche focus and forgot who I am, and began to not know which way I should run. A jack of all trades, but a master of none. I joined every network there was, downloaded every app, gave my ideas to the world but didn't get anything back. I was zapped by rejection, searching for gratification, and every client pitch felt like a job application. Quitting felt like an option I could actually take. Then a video popped up. 2 guys, 1 smile on each face. My fellow atomics, you know where I'm coming from. Then I realised it's time to get my ATOMICON. Astrological progress, taking you from the best kept secret to a phenomenon. It's like the stars aligned to bring so many stars inside, bringing you the secret of the marketing universe. You can take lead generation and growth off your wish list. You took 1 small step getting a ticket, resulting in 1 giant leap for your business. So bang on your desks, stand to your feet, and welcome your hosts, Andrew and Pete.
Hello everybody and welcome to ATOMICON! Woo-hoo!
We are so stoked to have you here, not only for today, but it's been an absolute joy spending the past 4 weeks with all of you lovely lot.
Can we firstly just give a massive round of applause to the wonderful Atomic members for producing that insanely good production we've just seen. Luke Wilcoxon for that awesome animation.
And the animation script was written by Laura Robinson, and the voiceover done by Samantha Boffin.
And how amazing was that spoken word piece by Kamal Hyman? Oh my days. Amazing.
Pete was crying. Pete was in floods.
Actually, pal, it wasn't tears. I just have like allergies and stuff. Anyway, let's get on with the talk, can we?
Alright guys, give us a big yes in the comments in big capital letters if you ever struggle to make decisions for your business. Whether that's really big decisions or really small decisions, do you ever feel like just indecision is holding you back from achieving more than what you possibly could do? Because that's exactly what we want to talk about in this session. How do we make better business decisions to obliterate our business goals faster than ever before?
Oh yeah! I mean, that sounds pretty darn good, pal.
Yeah, I mean, it is good. And I'm really good, guys, at making decisions. For example, I decided against the survival guides this year after last year's debacle. Anyone remember those? Let us know in the comments. But I decided against those that year.
Yeah, true. You did decide that.
Yeah, I also decided to hire Sam the matchmaker this year. And I think we can all agree she did a great job.
Yeah, good decision.
Yeah, I even decided on booking that gunge tank for Pete for next year.
Yeah. Wait, what? What?
Yeah, I'm really good at making decisions. Pete, on the other hand, not so much.
Yeah, I am. Or am I?
Right, point proven. But don't worry, Pete, because I've already decided exactly the talk that we're going to do today and how it's going to work. I already know how all of these guys are going to make better decisions to obliterate their business goals. All they need to do is follow the aligned, never defeated, ridiculously exciting, winning goals formula.
Wow. I mean, that's a bit of a mouthful.
I know, or we could just call it the Andrew goals formula for short.
Wait, what?
Yeah, well, it just so happened to spell out Andrew, and I thought it was just the perfect name.
Well, how does it work?
Well, it's really simple. All we need to do is start making decisions based on where we want to get to. Our decisions should align themselves to our long-term goals.
Right.
So, first things first, we just need to know what our goals are for the next 12 months. But rather than getting too overwhelmed with this, just think of one specific goal that gets you ridiculously excited. Just get a piece of paper or whatever you're making notes on and just write at the top, what is that goal that gets you ridiculously excited? And tell you what, Mr. Indecisive, Pete, why don't we do this with you? Pete, what goal gets you ridiculously excited?
What gets me ridiculously excited? Don't know.
Well, Pete, if you don't know what your goals are, how can you ever expect to make better decisions that's actually going to make those goals happen?
I mean, you've got a point.
Okay, so let's spend a minute now and think about a goal that you want to achieve. Like something that really excites you. Do you want to double your pricing? Do you want to stop working weekends? Do you want to launch that membership? Do you want to write that book? Do you want to get your product stocked in that specific shop? Do you want to niche down a lot more? Work with only the clients that you absolutely love and get rid of all the rubbish clients that you don't want to work with anymore? There's no right or wrong answers here. Let's just, for the purpose of this exercise, think about what that ridiculously exciting goal could be for you. And AV company, why don't you just put some kind of elevator music on, and let's just all spend a minute just trying to think what that goal could be. So AV, if we could just no, yeah, hang on, no, next one, that track, there we go, perfect. Let's just spend a minute now, guys, and think about what is that ridiculously exciting goal. Pete, let's freeze frame for a minute. Okay, we're back. So Pete, what's that exciting business goal that you want to achieve in the next 12 months?
Okay, Andrew, I've got it. I want to triple the Atomic membership, and I want to fill every single seat at ATOMICON next year.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That is definitely ridiculously exciting, isn't it, Pete? So now, what are all the smaller tasks? If you were to break that down, what are all the smaller tasks that you need to now go and do if you want to make that happen?
Okay, I guess we'd have to hire some pretty awesome speakers. We'd have to plan an epic launch. We'd want to improve Atomic. We want to improve our sales funnel. We want to do ads. We want to get everyone we know to help us push it. I'd go back to our best affiliates and ask about promotion, and I'd probably finish that chatbot that I should really get around to finishing. There's a whole list of things to do.
Okay, great. And now here's where good decision making comes into play. If you want to achieve that big goal, and you know you've got this whole big list of tasks of things that you need to do in order to achieve that thing, then all you need to start doing is aligning your decisions. Remember, the A in the Andrew Goals model stands for alignment. We need to align our decisions and just not do anything else. So just don't get distracted by other stuff, by other shiny objects, and you'll get there quicker. If you want to make better decisions, then all you really need to do is ask yourself this magic alignment question before making any decision. Does saying yes to this task bring me closer to my ridiculously exciting goal? And that is the beauty of the Andrew Goals model. Do that, guys, and you will be all set to smash your business goals faster than ever before. We'll see you at ATOMICON 2021. Bye, guys!
Whoa, hang on, pal. I don't think that's the end, is it? I mean, I just don't think it's that easy to make better business decisions.
No, Pete, that was it. I was done. Andrew Goals model, done.
No. I think that Andrew's goals model is flawed.
Excuse me? Flawed? I don't think so. I don't think so, Pete. The Andrew Goals model is perfectly logical.
It might be logical, pal, but I'm just not sure if it's quite as easy as that. I know where I want to take the business. I've known that for a while, but I've got a lot on at the moment, and I'm not sure if I can quite do it at this moment. And to be honest, I don't really know if it'll work, or if it'll work for me, or if I'm really good enough.
Well, how long have you been putting off doing this stuff already?
I mean, a long time. I guess it's always been, niggling in the back of my mind.
Huh. And then, why have you been putting it off?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's something I've always wanted to do, but I'm just scared it might fail. There's so many things I need to do, and a lot of those things are really tough. And to be honest, I just want to put it to the back of my mind and not have to deal with all that right now.
Well, if you don't deal with them, if you don't have the confidence to deal with them, then your business is going to forever be held back, and your business is going to plateau.
So what you're saying is, if we don't face up to these decisions sooner, then our business is just going to plateau and our business is just going to go nowhere?
Exactly. And if you think about it, the problem isn't making a good decision or a bad decision in many cases. Often the problem is just not facing up to that scary decision and therefore just doing nothing and making no decision. Because if you think about it, that's all business is. Business is just a constant stream of decision making. To grow a business and keep leveling up your business, you have to make these business decisions all the time. And some are scarier than others. For example, if you have on your task list, you must go live on Facebook and try to sell some of your products. That's a minor decision to make, and there's a small amount of risk involved. Only a small amount of risk involved. If you go live and you sell something, then great. If you go live and no one turns up and you sell nothing, then okay, you might feel a bit rubbish about yourself, but the risk isn't all that high. You can even just delete that video.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. But for example then, if on your to-do list was something like invest in outsourcing, it's a much riskier business decision, and thus the decision is much scarier. If it pays off, then you level up your business, you are much closer to that exciting goal. But in the back of your mind, what's niggling is the thought of what if it doesn't all work out? What if that person doesn't do very well? What if they embarrass you? What if you don't actually make more sales in that time that you save? What if you can't afford them? What if you have to let them go? What if you have to fire them? It's embarrassing, it's awkward, it's humiliating. Nobody wants that. And so what we'll do is we'll often put it off. We'll think about that tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow.
Right, it's a bigger leap of faith. And the bigger the leap, the bigger the payoff we get. So business is a series of taking these leaps of faith between one plateau to the next. Some small, some big. The bigger you leap, the more success you have. But the problem is the perception of the size of the leap. The perception of risk is either bigger or smaller based on your own confidence. For example, for us, we know that we can outsource because we've done it before and we've seen it pay off. So if we need to onboard a new team member, we can very quickly, easily, rapidly do all those small tasks needed in order to reach that next plateau. For example, deciding on our budget, running it through our cash flow, finding the right person, having those meetings, deciding who the right person is, onboarding them, introducing them to the rest of the team, getting them in the Slack channel, etc, etc, etc. And we can do all of that very quickly. There's no hesitation once we've decided that is the right thing to do.
So what you're saying is that leaping isn't actually leaping, it's just a series of small tasks that we can do very quickly to take us up to that next level. But the problem comes when people's own self-belief and confidence makes them think that that leap is just a little bit too far to leap. If we don't make the leap to keep leveling up our business, time and time again, then we're gonna just plateau. The perceived size of the leap is bigger or smaller depending on the size of our confidence. And it's exactly what we all do. We keep going, making maybe tiny leaps of faith here and there, until we come to a decision that is just too hard, just too difficult, too unknown, too risky, too scary. And that's when we just put it off. We put off that difficult decision and we plateau. We don't jump. We don't get to that next level. We end up plateauing.
Wow, pal, this sounds good. I mean, what should we call it? I feel like it needs to have a name and a model. How about the Andrew business?
Hang on, pal, hang on. I think let's just keep it simple. Let's just call it a confidence plateau. Because the only reason why we plateau and don't meet that leap is all based on our confidence.
Okay, I mean, not as catchy as what I was going to come up with, but it makes sense. It makes sense. I like it. Confidence plateau. Here's what you're saying. If we want to keep on hitting our business goals and making the best decisions in order to hit those business goals, then we have to keep on taking these leaps of faith. And we can't let our confidence plateau our business growth. And the thing is, we're probably all on a confidence plateau. And you know what? As soon as you take the leap, you may enter a period of contentment. Say, for example, you have just launched your business and you've gone from not having a business to launching a business. So that's a fairly big leap to take. And as soon as you take that leap and you launch that business, you may enter a period of contentment where you're happy. But as soon as that level feels more like the norm, you may enter a period of challenge. Like, for example, you might not be getting new clients as quickly as you would have liked. And soon that challenge leads you to frustration. And in this example, you might need to make some scary decisions. You might need to realize that you need to start selling more and work out how you're going to do that. Or you might need to say to yourself, okay, I need to work out what's wrong with my product or what's wrong with my service to work out why it's not selling. But if you're not confident enough to do what actually needs to be done, you're going to find yourself stuck on that plateau forever.
As business owners then, we have to find a way to constantly overcome and get to the next confidence plateau. Remember, Andrew, at the start of the year when we started to survey all of our Atomic members that joined, and we asked them, we have asked hundreds and hundreds of members, what is holding you back? And these were the top 9 things that kept on coming back, that were haunting people and holding them back from having more success. Not niching, not outsourcing, not creating enough content, not focusing, not selling enough, not charging enough, procrastinating ineffective websites, and launching things without an audience.
Yes, these are all big and common confidence plateaus. These might apply to you. Let us know if you may be feeling a bit like that in the comments, or there might be some other smaller ones that are also holding you back. And here's the thing, your success is dependent on you realizing in a moment that now is the time to take that leap onto that next plateau by doing all of those smaller tasks that's going to get you there. To actually face those difficult decisions and tackle those tasks head on.
But how do we do that? How do we get the courage to face those difficult decisions, to make that leap of faith, to avoid those confidence plateaus that we are stuck on?
It's funny you should say that, Pete, because I think definitely what the past month and a bit has taught us is that we all have it within us. Like, how many Atomic members have we seen that have taken huge leaps of faith recently because of what the world is currently going through? How many have launched that online product or doubled down on their passion or moved into that new niche? And as awful as the world is right now, we have seen so much rapid action by entrepreneurs over the past month and a bit, which is quite frankly inspiring. And even before this current global pandemic, think about all the entrepreneurs that have taken rapid action. Think about, for example, Claire Grace, who's just had that baby boy.
Right, yeah, Claire has been working with us as our online business manager for over a year now. And as soon as she realized she was going to have another baby, it suddenly gave her the motivation to level up. She suddenly had to make sure that her business could survive for a few months while she had the baby and had some maternity leave. She had to bring in a team, meaning she had to update her standard operating procedures. She had to raise her prices and go find better clients so that she could afford to hire the best team to look after her client with the new operating procedures. She massively took her business to the next level very quickly because she had to. And someone else who had no other choice is Laura Robinson. Laura Robinson found out that her husband got made redundant, and that very month she had to suddenly make twice as much money. And you know what? She did. She took rapid action to make twice as much money that month because she had to.
Right, so what we're saying is often external motivators force us to take the leap. It could be an economic reason, or it could be a life event, or even just a chance meeting or a chance encounter that forces us into action. These external motivators almost force us to take rapid action on the things that we've been procrastinating on because they seem a bit scary.
Okay, so Andrew, what you're saying is we need one of these external motivators to help us. Alright, okay, I got it. I can do this. I'm gonna go make a baby. I'll be back in 5 minutes, alright?
Whoa, hang on. We don't have time for you to go and make a... Wait, hang on. 5 minutes? 5 minutes? Is that all?
Anyway, okay, fine, forget about that. What you're saying, pal, is that we need one of these external motivators, but we can't just sit around and wait for these external motivators to just magically happen to us one day. Like, it might just not be tomorrow, it might be, way off, maybe years off. I can't be stuck in this confidence plateau forever. I don't want to be stuck.
No, you're right. We can't just wait around.
Well, what then?
What if we can manufacture some of these external motivators for ourselves?
Go on.
Think about it. What do these external motivators actually do? What actually happens when an external motivator occurs is that the path of no action, the plateau, suddenly becomes scarier than the thing that we were putting off in the first place. These external motivators raise the stakes on us not taking action. For example, Claire becoming pregnant, suddenly continuing down that same path is now scarier because she knows she's going to have a brand new newborn to look after than actually taking the time to do all those small tasks, to onboard new team members, to raise her prices. That is suddenly less scary than having the same business and a newborn. So if we want to manufacture these external motivators for ourselves, maybe we need to somehow work out a way to somehow raise the stakes on ourselves, to force us to make quicker decisions and take those rapid actions on demand.
Yes, Andrew, that sounds incredible. If we could manufacture our own external motivators whenever we please, then we can force ourselves to level up our business and have rapid growth on demand. That would be awesome.
Yes, Pete! That sounds good. So okay, has anyone ever actually done that? Has anyone ever actually raised the stakes on themselves?
I know. What about Danielle Bays?
Go on.
Well, I was actually talking to Danielle recently on the phone, and she was telling me about her business journey ever since ATOMICON 2019. At the start of 2019, Danielle Bays was a social media manager, and after doing this for 3 years, she was starting to get incredibly frustrated and a little bit fed up. In fact, so much so that she was even tempted to go back into her previous career doing teaching, and she was even watching webinars about going into teaching again. Unfortunately, she had quite clearly plateaued in her business, and she was probably procrastinating on what she knew she needed to do to change up the business and take it to that next level and actually do something that she was excited by. And at this point, while she's watching this webinar and returning to teaching, she was thinking, am I really going to go to ATOMICON? But then she thought, hey, 2 days away by myself, that sounds good. And I've already bought the train ticket, the hotel's already booked. I'll just go. I'll see what it's like. And you know what happened? On the train back home from ATOMICON, feeling all inspired after the day's events, she suddenly had a moment of clarity and realised that that thing that was so obvious and in her face that she should have thought of anyway was right there. And if she just wanted to grab it and take it and run with it, she could. What she was really passionate about was making video and helping others to make better video too. But she was incredibly nervous about launching something in this video space because she didn't know if people would want it, if people would buy it, would it resonate, and even if it did, she just didn't have any time whatsoever to do it. She was stuck in a catch-22. Not only did she need to launch something new somehow, but to get the time to do that, she needed to actually fire one of her clients to get back that time. Now, it would have been easy for Danielle to kind of continue on this plateau in her business, continuing with the social media management that she was frustrated with. But instead, she psyched herself up, and just 2 months later after ATOMICON, she fired her biggest client. That's right, she fired her biggest retainer client, paying her the most amount of money every month, and this gave her the time to go on and think about and launch and plan her new videos course, Videos Undifficulted. And in that moment, when she let her biggest client go, she freaked out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, she freaked out a little bit. She realized that she had just dropped her main income source, and now she had to act pretty darn quickly to get this new course up and running and make sure that it was a success. What she had essentially done was to raise the stakes on herself. And now the path of taking no action and continuing to plateau was scarier than actually doing all those small tasks in rapid action to get to that next level. What did she do? She launched a course, and you know what? It went incredibly well. She made twice as much money on that launch than she'd ever done in any month with her social media clients. And now, fast forward, she's way better off than she used to be, and she's 1,000 times happier with what she's doing. Amazing!
Amazing. I love that, Pete. I love that. What you're saying is that Danielle is a perfect example of someone who didn't just wait around for an external motivator. She actually raised the stakes on herself by firing that big client, forcing her to take rapid action to level up her business, and doing the thing that she should have been doing anyway.
Yes, in fact, I actually have a voicemail from Danielle too, telling us about how it all worked out for her.
Do you though, Pete? Or are you just going to do one of those silly voices that you do in every one of our talks?
What? I don't do that.
Yeah, you do. You always turn your back to the audience and pretend that you have some kind of recording, and you're just reading off our slides like an utter novice.
No, I don't do that at all. It's never like that, like, trust me. Like, I'll tell you what, I'll even prove it to you. I won't turn my back so you can actually see my lips, alright?
Go on then, play it.
Alright, okay, here we go. I'm gonna play it.
Hi Pete, it's Danielle here. ATOMICON made me say that I was stuck and I had a safety net. And I was putting off what I really wanted to do, and if I hadn't fired that client, I'd still probably be doing social media managing right now.
Oh, isn't that nice, guys? I love that, Pete. And I think this works really well with the confidence plateaus model. Because what we're saying is that there's these moments in time, let's call them leap moments, that raise the stakes on us not taking action and force us to do all those tasks rapidly. And rather than waiting for them, rather than waiting around to level up our business, we can manufacture them, just like Danielle did, by somehow raising the stakes in ourselves that makes that path of no action, the plateau, scarier than actually doing the stuff that we need to do.
Yeah, it's totally awesome.
Yeah, okay then, Pete. Are you ready? Are you going to raise the stakes so you can hit that goal of tripling the Atomic membership?
Yes! Yeah!
Yeah?
Yeah!
Yeah?
Yeah! Well, actually, maybe not.
What? Well, why?
Maybe not. Well, you know, I love Danielle's story and all, but how do we raise the stakes on ourselves? How do we actually do that? Is firing our clients the only way to raise the stakes? Is there other ways? Like, what if I don't want to fire my clients? Like, what if I don't even have clients? What if there's other ways to do this? Maybe there's other ways of raising the stakes.
Okay. Well then, let's think of another example. Like, what about us? Like, have we ever done this for ourselves?
Yeah, okay, I got it. What about with our speaking career? Like, there was definitely a moment for us in our speaking career where we massively leveled up.
Oh yeah, that's a great story to tell. So, back at the end of 2018, we were kind of in this period of contentment with our speaking career, I guess. But it wasn't really going anywhere. We had spoke at Social Media Marketing World 2017 and Social Media Marketing World 2018, which felt great because it's such a well-known conference in our industry. But we were stuck on the Twitter track, which isn't really where we wanted to be. And we saw people like Jay Baer and Mari Smith and Mark Schaefer keynote in this huge event over in San Diego, and we thought to ourselves, sat in the crowd, that's where we want to get to.
But we didn't quite feel confident in ourselves to do it and to go for it. It felt like more of a 10-year goal. At the end of 2018, we had written this talk that we'd spent months and months and months on. It was called The Danger Zone. And we had 8 speaking gigs coming up that we were going to deliver this talk at. And the first one of those 8 was at Content Marketing World in Ohio.
Now, at Content Marketing World, we saw Drew Davis speak for the very first time, and it blew us away. It was so stupendously good, and immediately we just felt completely inferior with our talk, The Danger Zone. But later on at the conference, we got the chance to meet Drew, and the very first question we asked him was, Drew, nice to meet you. How do we get as good as you? Because you blew us away this morning. Drew told us to send us a copy of The Danger Zone, and once we all got back to the office, he would watch it, and then we could hop on a Skype call, and he would give us some pointers about how we could improve it.
Bear in mind at this point that we'd spent months and months and months working on this talk, and we had another 7 speaking gigs coming up very, very soon.
So, when we got back to the office, we jumped on that Skype call, and he basically told us, in a very nice way, that The Danger Zone was not good enough. And if we really wanted to work hard to, level up our speaking career, then we had to rewrite the whole thing. He offered to help, he gave us some pointers, and he set us the challenge of rewriting just the first 10 minutes in the next 24 hours, recording it and sending it to him. And when he set us that challenge, we promised him that we would do just that.
Now let's just tell you a little bit about where our head was at that point. We had less than 6 weeks till our next gig at the Upreneur Summit. And we had a ton of stuff on our to-do list. Our plan was just to do the Danger Zone talk that we'd already produced, then we'd spent months and months on. We did not have time in the diary to plan and rewrite another completely new talk, never alone rehearse it and get it ready in time. There was just no time.
But we thought, you know what, we don't want to let Drew down, we've made him this promise. So that's what we did. We rewrote the first 10 minutes, we recorded it, we sent it to him, and you know what he said? He said, here's some more pointers, rewrite it again, and send it back to me in another 24 hours time. And again, we promised him we would. But this happened again, and again, and again, and every single day we rewrote the first 10 minutes of our new talk. We ended up writing over 35,000 words on notes for this talk that we would probably never use again.
We were stressed to our eyeballs that we had to redo this talk again and again with all the other stuff on our to-do list. And there's Drew telling us to research talks and watch comedy duos and practice our movements and our rehearsals and get into the real pain point of what this talk would deliver. And every single day I said to Andrew, Andrew, we do not have time to rewrite this talk. We do not have time today to send Drew another 10 minutes of script. Maybe, Andrew, we'll just do it tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. And every day, Andrew reminded me that we've made a promise to Drew and that we could not let him down. He was giving away his time generously for free to help us every day. This is an opportunity that we can't pass up on, he told me. We'd made a promise and we were going to stick to it. We were not going to let Drew down.
We'd raised the stakes on ourselves. Now, continuing to plateau, the path of no action was now more scary than actually trying to work on this thing because we had made a promise. And so every single day and late into the nights, we worked on the talk that would become the 90-10 rule. We did it for the very first time at Upreneur Summit 2018, and we got our very first standing ovation. Not only that, but Jay Bear was sat in the audience. Now remember, Jay Bear was one of those keynoters from Social Media Marketing World that we looked up to and we wanted to be on the stage just like he was, keynote in that event. He came up to us after he saw us do this talk for the very first time, and he said, guys, that was amazing. I've just texted Mike Stelzner and told him that you two need to be keynoting Social Media Marketing World next year. Now, remember, we met Drew in September, and in September, October, we started working on our speaking. In November, we did the 90-10 rule for the very first time at Upreneur Summit, and by January, we got an email from Mike Stelzner asking us if we would keynote Social Media Marketing World. And by April, we were on that keynote stage. The year prior, we were on the Twitter track.
We went from here to here with our speaking career in a very short space of time. We went from charging under a few grand per speaking gig to charging over £10,000 and getting them accepted. We're still pretty blown away and stunned at our own rapid action and our own leveling up with our speaking career. And looking back, what made us do all that extreme amount of effort in a very short space of time? Well, it was that we basically raised the stakes. We raised the stakes on ourselves by making a promise to someone that we did not want to let down. The pain of putting in all that extra effort was outweighed by the pain of letting Drew down. And actually, Andrew, do you remember that night when we were really stressed to our eyeballs and you sent me that voicemail?
What? No. I don't remember that.
Yeah, the voicemail you sent me. Yeah, I'll play it now.
What, you've got it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, listen, I'll play it now. Good, Pete. I really don't want to have to work on this talk anymore. But we made this promise to Drew, and I really feel like this talk is going to be so much better than anything else. So we should really keep working on it. I couldn't do this without you, pal. You're the best business partner. I don't know what I'd do without you. You're so sexy. I wish I had your hair.
That last bit definitely did not sound like something I would say.
That was totally you, man. It was definitely your voicemail. And I think it was in that moment, pal, when we realised that if you actually make a promise to someone that you definitely don't want to let down, then you can essentially force yourself to do anything you want.
So guys, can we ask you now, can you raise the stakes on yourselves by making a promise to someone that you don't want to let down? Whether that's a promise to someone that you respect, or a promise to a loved one, or maybe even a promise to take the kids to Disney.
Yeah, what promise will have you taken the leap?
Okay, Pete, this is good, right? If we want to level up our business, then we need to manufacture our own leap moments. And a great way to do that is to make a promise to someone that you don't want to let down. Pete, if you want to take the leap, then who do you want to not let down? Who could you make a promise to?
Well, I don't want to let you down, all of you watching this right now. So how about if we triple our membership and sell out ATOMICON and fill every seat, then how about I make a special promise just to you guys?
Like what?
How about an open bar at the after party? Yeah.
Oh, yes, I like it. An open bar at the after party. Okay, you heard it here first, guys. Pete has made that promise. If we can triple the membership, sell out ATOMICON next year, there's going to be an open bar at the after party. Pete, then, my friend, are you ready to take rapid action to take that leap?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah?
maybe not.
No. What? Why?
Well, is it enough? I mean, it's all well and good to, make a promise to not let someone down, but for bigger confidence plateaus where the leap is much bigger, is it enough? For example, if we want to triple the membership and sell out ATOMICON next year, there's going to be some pretty hard things to do. Then what kind of promise is going to be big enough to force us to make that leap? There must be something else. There must be some other way to help us manufacture an even bigger way to raise the stakes on ourselves, to push us even further.
Okay, well, maybe then we can learn from someone else, Pete. Who else has raised the stakes on themselves to have some big wins?
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, who?
Well, I was talking to Kelly Noble Mirabella recently, and I know we've spoken about Kelly before on Atomic, but anyone that knows her will know that she's definitely leveled up her business in the last year or two.
Right, exactly. And what were you talking about on the call?
Well, back in 2017, Kelly was running her social media management business, and she was getting increasingly frustrated and bored, even though she was really, really good at what she did. She'd been doing this for 8 years, and she wasn't sure about how or if she was going to be able to take it to the next level.
Basically, she had plateaued.
The thing is, Kelly knew exactly what she wanted to do. In fact, she'd been playing around with chatbots, and she absolutely loved chatbots, and she wanted to niche down and start teaching people, training people on chatbots, and become the go-to expert for chatbots. And that's exactly what she did. Now, she actually did a lot of stuff to become the chatbot expert, and she was really proactive about it. And it was really interesting in the phone call I had with her as to what was behind that motivation to make her do it. In her own words, she said that she felt like she was in a spotlight that she had forced on herself. You see, Kelly was not quiet about her goals. She was very vocal about what she wanted to do, where she wanted to get to with people that she met in person, online, publicly. She said that she wanted to have a rocking YouTube channel about bots. She said that she wanted to redo the ManyChat course and become the face of the expert of ManyChat. She said that she wanted to speak at Social Media Marketing World, and she didn't even buy a ticket because she knew she was going to get there. By telling the world these goals of hers, she put herself in the public spotlight. And she felt that if she failed, if she didn't do all those tasks necessary to level up her business and achieve those goals, then everyone was going to know about it and they were going to point their fingers and laugh. Because you see, when you keep your goals to yourself, when you're not vocal about them and no one else knows about them, when things get tough, it's all too easy to just give up. Because no one else knows that you even had those goals in the first place. So what happened to Kelly? Well, she's now widely considered to be one of the best chatbot experts in the world. Yes, she has a rocking YouTube channel. Yes, she did manage to smash that goal of the ManyChat course. Yes, she negotiated one of the biggest contracts in her life. And yes, she did get to speak at Social Media Marketing World. Woo! Go Kelly! And not only that, but she also is now getting paid over 5 figures to go speak around the world. Kelly smashed it. In fact, she told us on the call that in just 2 years, she'd been able to make the same amount of money with this new niche than she ever did with the social media management jack of all trades stuff that she used to do.
I'm loving that, Pete. And it's almost like a fear of public humiliation. Nobody wants to look like an idiot in front of everybody. And Kelly raised the stakes on herself by being super vocal about her goals and what she wanted to achieve.
Yeah, and she actually sent me a voicemail as well.
Did she? Is it actually a real voicemail, though?
It is, yeah.
Is it actually real, though?
Yes, I wouldn't lie to you, pal. Look, listen, here's what she said. Play. Oh my gosh. Hey, Pete. Thanks for the call the other day. It really got me thinking. And you're right. Telling people what I wanted to achieve really helped me to push for those goals. Because, sheesh, I mean, I was worried what people might think if I didn't hit them.
I'm not sure, Pete, if that was legit.
It was her, man. It was her own words. That's what she said. And I think this is maybe what we need to do, Andrew. Maybe to have a period of rapid growth that forces us to overcome any confidence issues that we might have. We need to make our goals public. We need to tell the world what we intend to do publicly and put ourselves in the spotlight, just like Kelly. We need to make a statement.
Yes, we need to make a public statement that we'd be embarrassed about failing. Is that something everyone can do? I mean, Pete, is that something you can do?
Okay, I've got it. How about I'm gonna tweet right now, and it's gonna tell the world what our intentions are. It's gonna be public, and you know what? I'm even gonna pin it to the top.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay, Pete, you write that tweet. Pete, you go tweet, and then are we gonna do this? Are we gonna rock it? Are we gonna triple that membership?
Yes, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna do it. You're gonna take the leap. You gonna do it, Pete?
Well, maybe not.
Well,
maybe not.
Well, why?
I just don't know if it's enough. I mean, I'm not easily embarrassed, really.
Really?
Yeah.
What if I showed everyone this old baby photo?
Still not embarrassed, pal.
Well, what if I showed everybody a photo of you where you've got terrible hair?
Oh, it's bad. But I'm not embarrassed, pal. Still not embarrassed.
Well, what if you had to do the rest of this presentation naked?
Oh. Yeah, I'm still not embarrassed.
Well, if we don't hit our goals, would you not be embarrassed?
Well, I would be embarrassed, like my ego would definitely take a knock, of course, but I still think we would have done well no matter what, and I think people would respect that. I definitely think making your goals, public and making a statement is definitely a way to help you get over certain plateaus. But for the biggest plateaus, I don't know, I think maybe there's just something else.
Okay, well, then what? Like, how else are we manufacturing raising those stakes? Is there anyone else you just so happen to have coincidentally had a conversation with in the run-up to this talk so we could have amazing real-life examples of people who have raised the stakes on themselves?
Well, you know what, Andrew? I actually was talking to someone else recently.
No way. Who?
Yeah, it was one of our members, actually, Laura.
Oh, Laura Gillespie.
No, she's awesome, but not that Laura, another one.
Oh, Laura Pearman.
No, she's awesome too, but the other Laura.
Oh, Laura Stevens.
No, she's awesome, but the other Laura.
Oh, Laura Cortelainen.
No, she's awesome too, but not her, the other Laura.
Oh, Laura McLachlan.
No, she's awesome too, but the other Laura.
Oh, Laura Moore.
No, not that Laura, the other Laura.
Oh, Laura Davis.
No, she's awesome too, but the other Laura.
Oh, Laura Robinson.
Yeah.
Ah, thank God. There was another 402 Lauras I had to get through.
What time?
Got there quick.
Yeah, I was talking to Laura Robinson. I know how earlier I mentioned how her husband got made redundant, and all of a sudden she had to make twice as much money that month. And she did, and it was amazing how that financial pressure kind of made her act, and she had to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the last factor that forces us to raise the stakes and, level up our business is some kind of financial loss.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's that fear of financial loss. I feel like that is always going to force people to act. And just think about all of our examples from today. Danielle Bays, she fired that big client. If she didn't start making back that money, it's not going to be very fun for her. Claire Grace, when she had her baby, if she didn't get her business in order before and do all those things that she had to do, then after she had the baby, the business isn't going to be as profitable. Kelly put all of her efforts into that new niche. Again, if that new niche didn't work out for her, then she'll have stopped focusing on the current moneymaker. Again, not very fun. Even all the people that have taken huge, inspiring leaps over the past month and a bit because of the current issues that the world is facing. If they didn't do that, financially, they wouldn't be in a very great position. And I think this is the thing that fuels us all. No matter if we just want to live a life of luxury or if we just have a family that we want to look after, the decisions that we make are often based on finances and potential financial loss or financial gain.
Right.
But we want to manufacture these moments, don't we? Now, Danielle has already done this. Danielle fired that client. But what if we don't have a big client to fire? Is there another way to manufacture raising the stakes on us financially?
Okay, well, this is what happened in my conversation with Laura. I asked Laura what she wanted to achieve in the next year, in the next 12 months, and what the next level was for her business. I then asked her what tasks she needed to do in order to be able to achieve up-leveling her business. And quite quickly, she listed off a ton of stuff that she was faffing on with that she was planning on doing over the next 12 months. So then I said to her, okay, Laura, if you had a gun to your head, could you do all of these tasks in the next month rather than in the next 12 months? Do you think you could do it?
And what did she say?
She said she probably could.
So why wasn't she doing it?
Well, her plan for the next month was to chill out at home, watch some of the ATOMICON fringe events, take it easy. She had enough work on, she was happy, she's in that contentment period, and she didn't have any financial reasons whatsoever to push herself to take on and do all that stuff in the next 12 months. There was no reason for her to do all those 12 months worth of tasks any sooner. So I gave her a reason. I said, Laura, let's make a bet.
Huh. What kind of bet?
I said, Laura, do you trust me? She said, hesitantly, yes. I said, well, Laura, if you actually did do all those 12 months worth of tasks in the next month and nailed it, then your business would be much further on, right? You'd be making way more money, yeah? You would be happier, and your customers would be better off and happier also, correct? She said, yeah. Are you willing to make a bet with me right now to do all that 12 months worth of tasks within the month? Can you do it? Are we going to raise the stakes? Laura, can you send me £500? And if you do all those tasks within the month, I will send you back that £500. And if not, I will keep that money. I'm going to have a wild party with her. Me and Andrew. Me and you. Go to the boozer.
That's crazy, Pete. Did she go for it?
Yeah, she went for it, pal. She immediately sent us the £500. Here is the PayPal, screenshot, as proof.
And did it work?
Yes, pal. Boy, did it work. And she actually sent me a voicemail this morning to explain.
Really, though? Is it actually her?
Yes, it's actually her, pal. Listen. Play it. Let's play it now.
Hey Pete, just wanted to fill you in on my bet with you. I know you said I have a month to do all those tasks, and it's only 2 weeks in, but I was really motivated and I did them all already. Yes, within 2 weeks. I don't know why I ever thought it would take me a year to get to this point.
Okay, Pete, I'm not believing that one. That's clearly your voice.
What, you want about us differently, Laura?
No, Pete, I'm not stupid. That was clearly your voice.
Fine, pal. Believe me or not, but definitely believe this. The £500 bet incentivized us so much. All those big scary tasks that she was going to do in a year, she did inside 2 weeks. Never mind a whole year, never mind a month. 2 weeks.
Wow, can we give Laura a round of applause in the comments, guys? I want to see those emoji hands clapping themselves together. If we want to take a rapid action to overcome our confidence plateaus, then there needs to be some kind of money on the table in order to really raise the stakes. Now, this can happen externally, but if there isn't an external motivator that's pushing you on, is there some way that you can manufacture this? Either doing something like what Danielle did by making a bet with yourself, or like what Pete did with Laura, which was making a bet with someone else. Now, the key isn't gambling on your success. We're not saying everyone needs to go out there and start giving away a ton of money. And remember, Pete didn't actually say to Laura that she had to make a certain amount of money in order to get her £500 back. Because remember, the achievement isn't the end goal. The achievement is having the confidence to do all those little tasks. The achievement isn't taking action. And you win by taking action. Remember, making no decision and just procrastinating along that plateau forever is a lot worse than trying something and it maybe not go into plan. So think about how you can make a bet, whether that's a bet for £500 or £200 or £5 or £1,000. A number that's meaningful to you that you don't want to lose. The key is the amount of money that you could lose needs to be scarier than actually doing those tasks that are going to get you out of your confidence plateau. And thinking about it, it's a bet that you can't lose because you can do those tasks. You just need the motivation and the deadline to try. Are you going to make a bet now to triple the membership?
Yeah, I think I am.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. No, but actually, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. And actually, pal, if you think about it, we've already kind of made the bet already. We've already put the deposit down on the epic venue. We've already put the deposit down on... If we fail now, to grow, then financially, we've lost the bet. So we need to make this work. And in fact, we've not just made a bet. We've also made a public statement to the world about our goals that would be really humiliated and embarrassed by if we didn't fill the venue. And we've already made a promise to all of our members that this event is going to happen and it's going to be awesome and there's going to be loads of people there. So we don't want to let them down. Andrew, we've hit all 3 levels.
And do you think that's enough?
Yeah, I think it is. And not only do I think it's enough, but I think for this to work the best, to have one of those leap moments, to manufacture our own external motivators, I think it does need all 3 levels. And in fact, I can actually prove that this works.
Yeah?
Yeah, remember last year when we were stood on that stage at ATOMICON 19 and we told everyone there, we told the world that we were no longer going to be prudent and that we'd booked this huge ass venue, the Sage, for the next year's ATOMICON. If you think about it, we made the same bet, the same public statement, and the same promise that we've just said right now. And over the course of the year, we did just that. We not only tripled our membership, but we actually quadrupled our membership. We took that rapid action. We got off our own confidence plateau and we went to the next level.
Pete, you're right. You know what? We did smash it. And the thing is, we can all use the Andrew goals model. We can all set what we want to achieve and map out the actions that we need to take to get there. But it's not always enough. If we don't have that motivation from raising the stakes, from letting someone down or public humiliation or losing money, then the moment things get tough or hard or scary, it's all too easy just to give up, to take no action. And we don't want you to plateau. But you see, we are all on a plateau, no matter where we are in business. I think one thing that me and Pete have learned along the way, the hard way, is that there's no end goal, there's no final destination. We've had the thoughts of, oh, if only we had this many members, or if only we could pay ourselves this amount per month, or if only we could keynote that event, then we'd have felt like we'd have made it. But the thing is, once you achieve a goal, you might feel some contentment for a short period of time, but there's always the next challenge, there's always the next frustration, there's always the next plateau that you want to get to. And the success comes from realizing this, from not giving yourself a hard time, but instead giving yourself the tools to reach for that next thing. Before frustration sucks out all the confidence and all the fun that actually comes along with running a business. Now, the speakers over the course of this event are going to give you so much information. They're going to give you all the tools, all the tactics that you need to take those actions to get yourself to that next plateau. They are all leaders in their field who have overcome their own confidence plateaus to work this stuff out and now want to give back.
But as the saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. We can give you all the information you need, but if you don't drink the water, if you don't do the hard work, then this is never going to pay off for you. Not from us, not from anybody. We started off today talking about how to make better decisions for our business. And we very quickly realized that it wasn't about making better decisions at all. It was about just simply making a decision. Because when we get to a decision that we just can't face, that's when we plateau in our business. But when we can face up to making those difficult decisions, we put ourselves in a place where we can actually take rapid action and take our business to the next level. And all this starts with manufacturing our own motivations to push us and to make us realize that the path of no action is always scarier than the path of taking that difficult decision. And to do this, to raise the stakes on ourselves, to make us take that rapid action and face those difficult decisions, all we need to do is raise the stakes. So let us know in the comments right now, who's going to do it? Who's going to raise the stakes on themselves? Who's going to make a promise to not let someone down? Who's going to make a public statement that they would be embarrassed at failing at? And who's going to make a financial bet that they aren't willing to lose? Because this is how you level up your business and have rapid success. Thank you.
Enjoy your ATOMICON, guys!